The day began with a hush that seemed to settle over the land, a gentle anticipation that only the wild can conjure. As the first golden rays crept across the African plains, the world awoke in a symphony of color and sound, the grasses shimmering with dew and the air alive with the distant calls of birds and the soft rustle of unseen creatures. On this Sunday, the 15th of February, the wilderness itself seemed to celebrate, for it was a day devoted to one of Africa's most enigmatic and powerful animals, the hippopotamus. Across the vast tapestry of rivers, floodplains, and grasslands, the stage was set for a remarkable encounter. In the heart of the Masai Mara, a pod of hippos gathered in a secluded, muddy pool. The water, thick with silt and organic matter, was their sanctuary, a world apart from the open plains. Here the hippos submerged themselves, their massive bodies nearly invisible beneath the surface, only nostrils, eyes, and ears breaking the waterline. The hippo's aquatic life is a marvel of adaptation. Their skin, sensitive to the harsh African sun, finds relief in the cool embrace of the water. A special secretion, often called blood sweat, coats their hides, acting as both sunscreen and antibiotic, giving their skin a pinkish hue in the morning light. Even in repose, the hippos exude a quiet strength. Their immense jaws, capable of opening nearly 180 degrees, are both a tool for grazing and a formidable weapon. When threatened, a hippo can charge with astonishing speed both in water and on land, reminding all who witness them that beneath their placid exterior lies a force of nature. Hippos are true architects of their environment. As they move through the waterways, their massive bodies carve channels in the mud, altering the flow of rivers and creating habitats for countless other species. At dusk, they emerge from the water, their silhouettes lumbering across the floodplains as they graze on the lush grasses, shaping the landscape with every step. The presence of hippos is felt throughout the ecosystem. Their dung, rich in nutrients, fertilizes the water and supports a web of aquatic life from tiny invertebrates to fish and birds. Around the waterholes, other animals gather, drawn by the resources the hippos help sustain, creating a vibrant tapestry of life. The air is filled with the sounds of the pod, deep grunts, snorts, and the occasional bellow echo across the water. These vocalizations are more than mere noise. They are a complex language, a way for hippos to communicate dominance, warn rivals, and maintain social bonds within the group. As the sun climbs higher, the hippos shift and stir, their movements sending ripples across the pool. Occasionally, a dominant bull will rise, jaws agape in a silent display of power, asserting his place within the pod. Calves, nestled close to their mothers, learn the rhythms of river life, watched over by the vigilant eyes of the adults. As dusk approaches, the hippos prepare for their nightly foray onto land. The riverbank becomes a highway of giants, their paths etched into the earth by generations of movement. The cycle of day and night, water and land, is the rhythm of their existence, a delicate balance that sustains not only the hippos but the entire ecosystem. Yet the world of the hippo is not without its challenges. As human settlements expand and rivers are altered, the ancient territories of these river giants shrink. The pressures of coexistence are ever present, a reminder of the fragility of wild spaces and the urgent need for their protection. To witness the hippo in its element is to understand the interconnectedness of all life on the savannah. Each creature, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, plays a role in the grand design of nature. The story of the hippo is a story of survival, adaptation, and the enduring power of the wild. It is a call to cherish the untamed beauty that remains and to recognize our responsibility in safeguarding it for generations to come. As the sun sets over the African wilderness, the hippos return to their watery refuge. The land once again quiet, the promise of another day lingering in the air. The stage is set for an unforgettable journey into the heart of Africa, where every moment is a testament to the wonder and resilience of the natural world. Our journey was not confined to a single vista. Instead, it traversed a breathtaking cross-section of the African continent, revealing a tapestry of landscapes, each with its own ecological rhythm and visual splendor. From the sun-baked savannas, where golden grasses ripple in the wind, to the mysterious wetlands alive with the calls of unseen birds and the ancient forests shrouded in mist, Africa's diversity is both profound and humbling. Our adventure unfolded across two remarkable nations, Kenya and South Africa, each a sanctuary for wildlife and a showcase of nature's artistry. In Kenya, the legendary Masai Mara National Reserve served as our window into the wild, a place where the horizon seems to dissolve into endless grasslands. Here, the landscape is defined by rolling plains punctuated by solitary acacia trees, and the drama of life and death plays out at the riverbanks, where wildebeest and zebra risk everything to cross crocodile-infested waters. The Masai Mara's scale is almost unfathomable. Skies painted with shifting clouds, the land stretching to infinity, and the air charged with anticipation as predators and prey share the same stage. The Mara is world-renowned for the great wildebeest migration, a spectacle of movement and survival. But even outside this season, herds of antelope, elephants, and predators create a living mosaic of constant interaction and adaptation. As our focus shifted southward, the journey continued into South Africa, where the safari experience is shaped by three distinct and ecologically rich reserves. Sandringham, nestled within the greater Kruger ecosystem, is a realm of classic low-veld bush, dense, tangled thickets and open clearings where sunlight filters through the canopy, illuminating the secret lives of elusive creatures. The landscape here is intimate and layered, with riverine forests providing sanctuary for shy antelope and the haunting calls of birds echoing through the undergrowth. Every step reveals hidden dramas, from a leopard's silent passage to the sudden alarm of a flock of hornbills. In the Eastern Cape, Amakhala Game Reserve stands as a testament to the resilience of nature, where unique flora, aloes, cycads, and speckboom carpet the hills, and the land's recovery from past exploitation is evident in the thriving populations of wildlife. The Sabi Sands Game Reserve, famed for its relaxed leopards, offers a different kind of grandeur. Here, ancient riverbeds and towering trees create a patchwork of habitats, and the air is thick with the scent of wild sage and the distant rumble of elephants. Together, these reserves reveal the astonishing variety of the African bushveld, from the open, sunlit savannas to the shadowed, life-giving river valleys. The contrast between these environments is striking. The Mara's vast openness versus the secretive, enclosed world of the South African bush. In the Masai Mara, the unobstructed terrain allows for panoramic vistas. Herds of elephants and giraffes move in stately procession across the plains, their silhouettes etched against the horizon. The land itself becomes a living character, its contours and colors shifting with the light, its moods changing from the golden calm of dawn to the electric tension of dusk. In South Africa's reserves, the experience is more immersive and unpredictable. The dense bushveld restricts visibility, heightening the senses and the thrill of discovery. At any moment, a turn through tangled foliage or a descent into a dry riverbed can reveal a sleeping lion, a solitary bull elephant, or a herd of buffalo materializing from the shadows. This ever-present element of surprise transforms every drive and walk into an unfolding story, where the next chapter is written by the animals themselves. Across these varied habitats, wildlife displays remarkable adaptations, camouflage, social strategies, and migratory patterns, all finely tuned to the demands of their environment. This dual-country approach offered a panoramic perspective on the African safari, revealing the continent's ecological complexity and the interconnectedness of its wild spaces. It was not a story of a single park or ecosystem, but a celebration of Africa's vastness, its deserts, wetlands, forests, and grasslands, each a world unto itself. From the equatorial grasslands of Kenya, where the air shimmers with heat and life, to the temperate bushveld of South Africa, where ancient trees stand sentinel over secret waterholes, the journey traced a living, breathing map of wilderness. Each reserve, shaped by its own climate, geology, and conservation history, offered a unique stage for the unfolding drama of predator and prey, migration and survival. This grand African stage, stretching across thousands of kilometers, allowed us to witness the subtle and profound differences in animal behavior, appearance, and habitat, an intricate, ever-changing masterpiece that defines the continent's wild heart. The unfolding story of a day in the wild is shaped as much by the ever-changing sky as by the animals themselves. On this particular Sunday, the atmosphere was in constant motion, painting the savannah with shifting moods and textures. In the Masai Mara, the afternoon began beneath a restless sky, where gusts of wind swept across the open plains. The tall grasses bent and swayed, their movement a visible testament to the invisible currents above. Trees leaned into the wind, their branches trembling as the air carried distant scents and subtle sounds, alerting every creature to the possibility of change. The wind's persistent rush masked the approach of predators, making prey animals like topi and waterbuck visibly uneasy. Above, the sky was a living canvas. Clouds gathered and shifted, their darkening forms hinting at the drama to come. The horizon blurred as the light dimmed, and the air grew heavy with anticipation. By mid-afternoon, the clouds released their burden. Sheets of rain swept across the Mara, drumming on the earth and transforming the landscape in moments. The parched ground darkened, and puddles formed in the hollows, reflecting the tumultuous sky above. The rain settled the dust, releasing the unmistakable scent of petrichor, earthy and fresh, a signal of renewal. Birds fluttered for cover beneath the dense canopy, their feathers slick with moisture, while others took flight, seeking refuge from the deluge. Grazing herds clustered together, their bodies hunched against the driving rain, waiting for the storm to pass. As the downpour eased, the world was left glistening, leaves and grasses adorned with droplets that caught the emerging light, the landscape suddenly vibrant and alive. The rain faded as quickly as it had arrived. Clouds parted, allowing shafts of golden sunlight to pierce through, illuminating the wet grasslands and casting a warm, ethereal glow across the Mara. The interplay of light and shadow brought out the rich hues of the earth and vegetation. Every blade of grass sparkled with raindrops, and the air was crisp and clear. Wildlife emerged from their shelters, invigorated by the coolness and the promise of fresh water. Birds preened and called, while mammals moved with renewed energy across the damp earth. The newly formed puddles became gathering points, drawing animals to drink and bathe. Elephants, antelope, and birds all took advantage of the cool, clean water, their movements reflected in the shimmering pools. As the sun dipped lower, the light deepened to a rich amber, casting long shadows and accentuating the contours of the land. The savannah glowed with color, every detail sharpened by the clarity of the post-storm air. Far to the south, the skies told a different tale. In the South African lowveld, the day was marked by a persistent, cool wind and a sky veiled in thick, shifting clouds. The bushveld grasses rippled under the breeze, and the air carried a chill that lingered throughout the day. The subdued light and cooler temperatures encouraged predators to remain active, their movements more frequent beneath the overcast sky. Prey animals stayed vigilant, their senses heightened by the swirling wind that carried both opportunity and danger. Across the continent, the contrast was striking. Kenya's dramatic rain and radiant aftermath set against South Africa's cool, wind-swept plains. The skies above each region were not mere scenery but active forces, shaping the rhythm and drama of life below. The ever-changing weather patterns, from storm to sunlight, from wind to calm, were woven into the very fabric of the wild, guiding the movements and moods of every creature beneath their vast expanse. As the sun crested the horizon and painted the Mara in golden light, the riverbanks stirred with life. The day's first moments belonged to the great mammals, but as the hours unfolded, a vibrant tapestry of creatures emerged, each playing a unique role in the intricate web of the river ecosystem. The Masai Mara's bird life was nothing short of extraordinary, a living palette of colour and sound that animated the landscape. Among the most captivating was the lilac-breasted roller, its feathers a kaleidoscope of lilac, turquoise and emerald, glinting in the morning sun. In flight, the roller's wings flashed with iridescent hues, transforming it into a living jewel that darted between acacia branches and open sky. When perched, its vivid plumage stood out against the lush green, a breathtaking contrast that drew the eye even from a distance. This remarkable bird, the national emblem of Kenya, is more than a symbol. It is a testament to the country's rich natural heritage, thriving in the wild heart of Africa. The roller's presence, delicate yet bold, reminded us that the wild's beauty is not reserved for the giants alone. It flourishes in the smallest, most vibrant forms. Further along the river's edge, a pair of grey-crowned cranes glided through the tall grass, their golden crowns catching the light with every graceful step. These cranes, with their slender necks and stately posture, embodied elegance, their movements deliberate and serene. Their golden, spiky crowns shimmered in the breeze as they navigated the grasslands, exuding a regal air that set them apart from all other birds. In pairs, they performed intricate courtship dances, leaping, bowing, and calling in perfect synchrony, a ritual that has played out on these plains for millennia. Against the sweeping backdrop of the Mara, their silhouettes became moving brushstrokes on a living canvas, adding a balletic grace to the wild expanse. Sharing the landscape with hulking hippos and buffalo, the cranes offered a delicate counterpoint, their presence a reminder of the wild's balance between power and fragility. Every bird sighting, each flash of colour, each melodic call added depth and vibrancy to the Mara's ecological masterpiece. The day's story began with the river lords themselves, the hippopotamus, emerging from the water's surface in the cool dawn. Their massive forms lounged in muddy pools, their eyes and nostrils just above the surface, ever watchful and ever present. Hippos are true architects of the riverine world, carving channels through water and grass as they move between their aquatic refuge and grazing grounds. Their nightly journeys create well-worn hippo highways, vital corridors that countless other animals use to traverse the landscape. Even their dung plays a crucial role, enriching the river with nutrients that sustain fish, invertebrates, and the entire aquatic food web. Despite their placid appearance, hippos are formidable, their yawns revealing tusks, capable of defending territory with astonishing force. Their presence in the Mara's rivers and pools is a sign of ecological health, their lives intertwined with every creature that depends on the water. Above, the sky belonged to the winged sentinels, raptors and scavengers whose sharp eyes scanned the savannah for opportunity. Vultures circled high, their broad wings catching thermals as they searched for the faintest sign of a meal. On the ground, they gathered at carcasses, their efficient cleanup ensuring the land remained free of decay and disease. Their keen eyesight and communal behavior often signaled the presence of predators, linking the fates of hunter and scavenger in a delicate dance of survival. Among them soared the Valberg's eagle, a master of the skies, its powerful wings slicing through the air as it hunted for prey below. The convergence of rollers, eagles, and vultures created a dynamic aerial community, each species fulfilling a vital ecological role. As dusk settled, flocks of birds wheeled across the sky, their silhouettes etched against the fading light, a living testament to the interconnectedness of river, sky, and savannah, and the enduring wonder of the wild. Throughout the day, across every corner of the wild, the true giants of Africa made their presence known, moving with a quiet authority that shapes the very landscape they inhabit. Elephants, both in tightly knit herds and as solitary bulls, were a constant and awe-inspiring feature of our safari. Their immense size and gentle, deliberate movements command respect, whether encountered in the open grasslands of Kenya or the dense bushveld of South Africa. In the Maasai Mara, a large bull elephant, his legs caked in rich red mud from a recent wallow, moved with a slow, purposeful stride. Bulls like this often roam alone, their independence a testament to the complex social dynamics of elephant society. In contrast, the family herds are led by experienced matriarchs, older females whose knowledge guides the group through seasonal changes, droughts, and the ever-present search for water and food. These matriarchs are the living memory of the herd, passing down vital survival skills to younger generations. Observing a herd in motion is to witness a living tapestry of cooperation and communication. Each step is measured, each movement purposeful, as the elephants maintain close bonds through touch, sound, and even subtle vibrations transmitted through the ground. The adults move with a stately calm, while calves dart between their legs, learning the intricacies of elephant life through play and mimicry. Trunks entwine in gentle greeting or reassurance, and deep, resonant rumbles, inaudible to the human ear, carry messages across great distances, binding the herd together. Across Africa, elephants have adapted to a variety of environments, and subtle differences emerge between populations. In the Maasai Mara, for example, elephants display unique physical traits compared to their southern cousins in Kruger National Park. While their overall body size remains similar, the shape and color of their tusks can vary dramatically, shaped by both genetics and the demands of their habitat. Elephants in the Mara often possess tusks that are slender, elongated, and strikingly white, an adaptation influenced by the region's softer vegetation and frequent rainfall. The lush, green environment provides abundant soft grasses and foliage, reducing the need for elephants to use their tusks for heavy labor such as digging or stripping bark. In these conditions, tusks experience less wear and tear, and the frequent washing from rain and river crossings keeps them gleaming, a natural polish that highlights their beauty. The sight of elephants crossing a swollen river or standing in the rain is a reminder of their deep connection to water, which shapes their movements and social interactions throughout the year. In South Africa's Ama-ellies Game Reserve, herds gather in river valleys, drawn by the promise of water and the lush vegetation that flourishes along the banks. Here, the elephant's behavior reflects the challenges of a more arid environment. Herds must travel greater distances, and their social bonds are tested by the need to find scarce resources. Over countless generations, elephants have shaped and been shaped by the African landscape. Their movements carve ancient paths through forests and savannas, and their feeding habits influence the very structure of the ecosystem. Unlike many other large mammals, African elephants have evolved in a world where the presence of other species, including predators and competitors, has honed their intelligence, memory, and social complexity. This has made them exceptionally perceptive and cautious, with acute senses that allow them to detect distant sounds, subtle scents, and even the vibrations of approaching footsteps. In modern times, conservation efforts have become essential to ensure the survival of these remarkable animals. Translocation, moving elephants between reserves, helps maintain genetic diversity and healthy populations, especially in fenced or fragmented habitats. The story of an elephant's life is written in its teeth. Each molar, massive and ridged, is perfectly adapted to grinding tough vegetation, and the gradual replacement of these teeth marks the passage of time. Every decade or so, a new set of molars pushes forward, replacing the worn teeth and allowing the elephant to continue feeding efficiently. This remarkable adaptation means that elephants can live for decades, but as the final set of teeth wears down, their ability to process food diminishes, signaling the twilight of their long lives. Elderly elephants, their tusks and teeth worn by a lifetime of use, often seek out the softest vegetation, tender grasses, reeds, and aquatic plants found in marshes and wetlands. These gentle giants spend their final years in tranquil places, sustained by the land that has supported them since birth. A poignant adaptation to the inevitable process of aging. In the golden light of evening, the sight of an ancient elephant, its face lined with wisdom, its movements slow but dignified, offers a moving glimpse into the enduring spirit of one of Earth's most extraordinary creatures. No safari is truly complete without witnessing the regal presence of the savanna's apex predators, the lions. Today, the landscape offered a window into their world, where power, patience, and instinct shape every moment. In the golden light of dawn, the Masai Mara's vast plains stretched endlessly, alive with the subtle tension that defines the wild. Here, every shadow and movement tells a story of survival. A solitary lioness, her tawny coat blending seamlessly with the tall grass, lay poised near a herd of topi antelope. Her muscles tensed beneath her skin, every sense attuned to the slightest movement. The topi, ever vigilant, formed a living barrier, their eyes fixed on the predator, ready to bolt at the first sign of danger. The air was thick with anticipation, a silent negotiation between hunter and hunted. The lioness, conserving her energy, watched with unwavering patience, while the antelope maintained a careful distance, their survival dependent on constant awareness. Elsewhere, a coalition of male lions, broad-shouldered and powerful, rested in the shade, their bodies sprawled across the earth. These males, known for their strength and unity, exemplify the social bonds that define lion society. Their deep, rumbling breaths and twitching tails hinted at the energy they conserve for the night's patrols and hunts. Not far away, a pride feasted on a freshly brought-down zebra. The matriarchs led the meal, their powerful jaws tearing through flesh while cubs waited eagerly for their turn. The hierarchy was clear. Dominant females ate first, followed by subadults, and finally the youngest, each role reinforcing the structure of the pride. Across the expanse of the Mara, different prides navigated their territories, their movements dictated by the availability of prey and the presence of rival coalitions. Each pride's story unfolded in parallel, a tapestry of alliances, rivalries, and survival. In South Africa, the lion encounters were more intimate. Among the bushveld's dappled light, a young white male lion rested, his pale coat a rare and striking sight. His blue eyes, clear and intense, reflected the wild's mysteries. Nearby, a tawny companion lay close, their bond evident in their synchronized breathing and relaxed postures. The white lion's unique coloration is the result of a rare recessive gene, not albinism. This genetic marvel stands as a testament to the diversity and adaptability of the species. Observing such a rare animal thriving in its natural habitat is a privilege, a reminder of nature's endless variety. The young lion's robust health and growing confidence offered hope for the future of his lineage, a symbol of resilience in a challenging environment. Not all lions enjoy the security of a pride. A young lioness, her fur patchy and her gaze distant, rested alone in the dry grass. Her solitude spoke of the hardships faced by nomadic individuals, those searching for acceptance or forced to carve out a territory of their own. Was she a wanderer seeking a new pride, or had she been pushed out by her family? The reasons for her isolation remained a mystery, her story written in the silent language of the wild. Her thoughtful gaze and cautious movements hinted at a life shaped by both challenge and opportunity, a testament to the resilience required to survive alone. Nearby, the savannah's other royalty made their presence known. Two massive bull elephants faced off, their trunks raised and ears flared in a display of dominance. The ground trembled as they charged, their power and size unmatched in the animal kingdom. Amidst the thunderous display, the young lioness remained composed, her calm demeanor a striking contrast to the chaos nearby. Such poise is the mark of a true apex predator, accustomed to the daily dramas that unfold on the savannah. In the heart of the wild, the kings and queens of the savannah move with confidence and grace, their every action a reflection of the delicate balance that sustains this extraordinary ecosystem. Beyond the headline, sightings of elephants and lions, the savannah reveals a tapestry of life woven from countless subtle interactions, adaptations, and daily struggles. Each moment in the wild is a testament to the intricate balance that sustains this ecosystem, where every creature, no matter how small or seemingly ordinary, plays a vital role in the grand design of survival. In the Masai Mara, our attention was drawn to the topi, a species of antelope that is both abundant and fascinating. Their lives are a constant negotiation between vigilance and vulnerability as they graze in open grasslands, always alert to the faintest hint of danger. With their rich, reddish-brown coats, dark purple patches on their legs, and lyre-shaped horns, topi are instantly recognizable. These markings are not just for show. They serve as visual signals in the tall grass, helping individuals maintain cohesion within the herd and communicate subtle cues about dominance or readiness to flee. The social structure of topi is a marvel of natural selection. Dominant males establish territories or leks on raised ground, such as termite mounds, using these vantage points to assert their presence and monitor both rivals and potential mates. From these elevated perches, a male can scan the horizon for predators and competitors, while simultaneously displaying his strength and stamina to females. This dual purpose, defense and attraction, demands constant vigilance and energy. The relentless effort to maintain territory and attract mates is a daily test of endurance. Each display, each chase, and each confrontation with a rival is a calculated risk, as the cost of injury or exhaustion can be fatal in a landscape where predators are never far away. Another remarkable resident of the Mara is the eland, the world's largest antelope. Their immense size belies a gentle, almost ghostly presence as they move with surprising stealth through the grasslands. Bulls can weigh up to a ton, their massive frames supported by powerful muscles and sturdy limbs. Yet their social dynamics are subtle. Mature bulls often form loose bachelor groups, while females and calves gather in herds, each group constantly adjusting to the shifting patterns of food and threat. Despite their size, eland are notoriously elusive. Their keen senses and cautious nature allow them to melt into the landscape, vanishing into thickets or blending with the distant herds at the slightest sign of disturbance. When startled, eland display astonishing athleticism, leaping over 2 meters high from a standstill. This ability is not just a spectacle, it is a crucial adaptation for escaping predators and navigating the unpredictable terrain of the savannah. To witness an eland in the wild is to glimpse a creature shaped by millennia of evolution, a gentle giant whose survival depends on a delicate balance of strength, caution, and adaptability. The Mara's grasslands are a living mosaic, supporting a dazzling array of herbivores. The Defasa waterbuck, with its shaggy, water-resistant coat, thrives near rivers and marshes, while herds of buffalo graze the open plains. Their sheer numbers and formidable horns a deterrent to even the boldest predators. Each species carves out its own niche, relying on unique adaptations to survive the ever-changing rhythms of drought and abundance. Life in the wild is also defined by complex social bonds, as seen in the olive baboon. These primates form large dynamic troops where every individual has a role and every interaction shapes the fabric of the group. Hierarchies are strict, with dominant males maintaining order and access to resources, while alliances and friendships are forged and broken in a constant dance of power and cooperation. As the troop moves through the grassland, foraging for roots, seeds, and insects, their coordinated movements and shared vigilance offer protection against predators and ensure the survival of the youngest members. Grooming is more than hygiene, it is the glue that binds the troop, reinforcing bonds and easing tensions. Meanwhile, the playful antics of the young are not just entertainment, they are essential lessons in agility, social skills, and the rules of the troop. The air is alive with their calls, barks, grunts, and screams, each sound a coded message, warning of danger, asserting dominance, or calling for help. This sophisticated communication is vital for navigating the challenges of life in the wild. Olive baboons are consummate opportunists. Their omnivorous diet and adaptability, allowing them to exploit a wide range of habitats. Whether foraging for fruit, hunting small animals, or raiding termite mounds, their resourcefulness ensures their survival in a landscape that is as unpredictable as it is beautiful. The complexities of wildlife are perhaps most dramatically illustrated during the Great Migrations, when herds of wildebeest and zebra brave treacherous river crossings. Here, the stakes are highest, predators lie in wait, currents are swift, and only the strongest or luckiest survive. Each crossing is a crucible, shaping the next generation and maintaining the delicate balance of predator and prey. Predators, too, are bound by the intricacies of the wild. The cheetah, master of speed and stealth, must calculate every move, balancing the need for energy conservation with the urgency of the hunt. A single misstep can mean starvation, while success is fleeting, as larger carnivores often steal their hard-won meals. Even in death, the cycle continues. Scavengers like vultures, hyenas, and jackals converge on the remains, each species playing a role in recycling nutrients and maintaining the health of the ecosystem. Their interactions are a study in competition and cooperation as they negotiate access to the feast. Beneath the feet of giants, the smallest creatures perform essential tasks. Dung beetles tirelessly roll and bury dung, enriching the soil, while termites construct vast mounds that aerate the earth and provide shelter for countless other species. These unsung engineers are the foundation upon which the entire savannah rests. The rhythm of life in the wild is dictated by the seasons. With the arrival of rain, the landscape transforms. New grass springs up, herds return, and the cycle of birth and renewal begins anew. Every animal, from the mightiest elephant to the tiniest insect, is attuned to these changes, adapting in ways both subtle and profound to ensure their place in this ever-evolving world. While our safari was a celebration of nature's beauty, it also served as a powerful reminder of the immense responsibility we bear in safeguarding these extraordinary landscapes for generations to come. Across Africa, conservationists face a complex web of challenges, ranging from habitat loss and fragmentation to the relentless advance of climate change. Droughts parch the land, rivers run dry, and once lush habitats shrink, forcing wildlife to adapt or perish. In the Masai Mara, experts like James Henry have identified human-wildlife conflict as a central issue. As wild spaces contract, the delicate balance between people and animals is tested daily. The boundaries of protected areas are not rigid barriers. Instead, they are permeable frontiers where the needs of expanding communities and the survival of wildlife intersect. Here, agricultural expansion and livestock grazing often encroach upon critical wildlife corridors, fragmenting habitats and increasing the risk of conflict. For those living on the edge of wilderness, a lion preying on livestock or an elephant trampling crops is not merely a distant conservation issue, it is a daily reality with profound economic consequences. Such incidents can devastate livelihoods, fueling resentment, and sometimes leading to retaliatory actions that threaten already vulnerable species. The challenge is not only ecological but deeply social and economic, requiring innovative solutions that address the root causes of conflict. Conservationists are pioneering landscape-level strategies, establishing wildlife corridors, deploying advanced monitoring technologies and developing compensation schemes for losses to foster coexistence. Education and outreach are vital, empowering communities with knowledge about sustainable practices and the ecological value of their wild neighbors. Economic incentives, such as ecotourism and sustainable enterprise, are being woven into the fabric of conservation, providing alternative livelihoods and reducing dependence on natural resource extraction. When communities see tangible benefits from living alongside wildlife, the calculus shifts. An elephant becomes a source of pride and prosperity, not just a potential threat. This interdependence is the cornerstone of modern conservation, fostering a culture where coexistence is not only possible but mutually beneficial. Yet, the pressures of poverty, rapid population growth, and limited resources mean that this balance is fragile, requiring constant vigilance and adaptation. Conservationists, scientists, and policymakers must collaborate, drawing on local knowledge and cutting-edge research to craft solutions that are both effective and equitable. Compounding these challenges is the growing threat of climate change, which brings unpredictable weather, prolonged droughts, and catastrophic floods to even the most resilient ecosystems. In a recent address, South Africa's Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, Billy Okemp, highlighted the urgent need for climate adaptation in conservation planning. The devastating floods that swept through Kruger National Park are a stark illustration of the new normal, where infrastructure and wildlife alike are tested by nature's extremes. Remarkably, most wildlife responded with instinctive resilience, seeking higher ground and minimizing losses, a testament to nature's adaptability. Post-flood surveys revealed few casualties, but the event underscored the vulnerability of even the best-managed reserves. Infrastructure, roads, bridges, and access routes suffered extensive damage, disrupting conservation operations and tourism. The destruction of these vital arteries not only hampers wildlife management, but also threatens the economic lifeblood of the region. In response, the minister issued a call to action, seeking not just financial support, but the expertise of engineers, architects, and planners to reimagine resilient infrastructure. The vision is to design and construct roads and bridges that can withstand the increasing frequency and intensity of climate-driven disasters. This is not merely about restoration, but about innovation, integrating climate science, hydrology, and sustainable materials into every project. The result, infrastructure that not only endures, but enhances the resilience of the entire ecosystem. These forward-thinking measures are essential for ensuring that protected areas remain sanctuaries for wildlife, even as the climate shifts. Conservation in the 21st century is a multidisciplinary endeavor, melding ecology, technology, engineering, and policy to meet unprecedented challenges. It demands adaptive management, continuous learning, and a willingness to embrace new tools and ideas as conditions evolve. With determination, innovation, and global cooperation, there is hope that Africa's wild places will not only survive, but flourish, offering sanctuary to wildlife and inspiration to all who cherish the natural world. As the sun began its final descent, casting elongated shadows across the endless savannah, the landscape transformed into a living canvas of gold and amber. The sky, ablaze with vibrant oranges and deep purples, became a silent witness to the closing of another day in the wild, where every moment is a testament to survival and adaptation. In the muddy pools of Kenya, hippos submerged themselves, their massive forms barely breaking the water's surface, embodying a quiet resilience honed over millennia. A young white lion, its pale coat blending with the tall grasses, moved with a cautious dignity, a living symbol of nature's rare wonders and the fragile balance that sustains them. The day's journey revealed the intricate tapestry of life. Each encounter a window into the wild's enduring spirit, where every creature plays a vital role in the ecosystem's harmony. We witnessed the raw, untamed power of a thunderstorm, lightning illuminating the plains and reminding us of nature's unpredictable might. The lilac-breasted roller, perched in solitude, displayed feathers of iridescent blues and violets, a delicate beauty thriving amidst the wild's daily challenges. Elephant herds moved with deliberate grace, their trunks entwined in gentle greeting, demonstrating the profound social bonds that define their survival and strength. Each animal's sighting, each subtle behavior observed, deepened our understanding of the wild's complexity and the intricate relationships that sustain it. At the watering holes, a mosaic of species gathered: zebra, antelope, and giraffe, each dependent on the same precious resource, their coexistence a lesson in adaptation and resilience. The wild's enduring spirit is felt in the air, in the rustle of grass, and in the watchful eyes of creatures alert to every sound and scent. As the last rays of sunlight faded, the savannah entered a period of quiet reflection, a brief pause before the night's drama unfolded. A hyena, silhouette merging with the dusk, slipped into the shadows, its presence a reminder that the wild never truly sleeps. As darkness claimed the land, the rhythms of the wild shifted, and new life stirred beneath the cover of night. Nocturnal hunters, lions, leopards, and hyenas, emerged, their senses sharpened, ready to continue the ancient cycle of pursuit and survival. The savannah's pulse never ceases. Under a sky ablaze with stars, life persists in a seamless flow from day to night. The eternal cycle of hunting and hiding, of birth and the first tentative steps, unfolds with unwavering determination. Beneath the vast, star-studded sky, herds graze and predators prowl, each moment a testament to the wild's relentless drive to endure. The continuity of life here is humbling, an unbroken chain stretching back through the ages, each generation shaped by the challenges of the land. The enduring spirit of the wild is etched in every determined gaze, every powerful stride, and every act of survival. Through drought and flood, through shifting seasons and changing landscapes, wildlife adapts, each species a master of resilience, evolving to meet new challenges. The stories written in tracks on the earth and calls in the night air speak of a world where survival is both a struggle and a triumph. Yet the wild faces mounting pressures, habitats shrinking, resources strained, and the delicate balance threatened by forces beyond its control. At the boundaries of reserves, the interface between wilderness and the outside world grows ever more complex, testing the adaptability of every species. Floodwaters sweep across the plains, forcing animals to navigate new dangers and seek higher ground, their instincts guiding them through adversity. The wild's endurance is not guaranteed. It is a legacy that must be safeguarded through vigilance and respect for the natural order. Innovation and commitment are essential. New strategies, informed by science and guided by the wisdom of the land, are needed to secure the future of these ecosystems. The construction of bridges, literal and symbolic, represents the ongoing effort to connect fragmented habitats and restore the wild's integrity. These connections are vital, allowing animals to move freely, find mates, and maintain the genetic diversity essential for survival. Every tree planted, every corridor restored, strengthens the wild's ability to endure and flourish. The creation of wildlife corridors and the restoration of natural habitats are acts of hope, forging a future where the wild can thrive alongside change. Bridging the gap between knowledge and action is essential. Only through meaningful steps can the wild's legacy be preserved. The survival of the wild ensures that future generations will witness the first steps of a newborn calf, the protective circle of a herd, and the timeless rituals of the hunt. As the sun sets over the tranquil savannah, the enduring spirit of wildlife remains, unyielding, ever adapting, and profoundly inspiring. With each sunrise, hope is renewed, and the wild story continues, written in the tracks of elephants, the calls of birds, and the silent strength of predators. The vastness of these wild spaces, stretching to the horizon, is a living testament to nature's resilience and the enduring spirit that animates every creature. The wild's guardians, unseen and tireless, work to ensure that the balance is maintained, that the ancient rhythms continue unbroken. Animals overcome injury and hardship, adapting to harsh conditions with remarkable tenacity. Their survival a daily affirmation of life's persistence. Elephants, lions and rhinos roam freely, their presence a powerful symbol of what is possible when the wild is given space to endure. Every elephant that strides across the plains, every herd that gathers at dusk is a living legacy of the wild's enduring spirit. Lion prides, vigilant and united, maintain their territories with a strength passed down through generations. Each new life, every chick that hatches, every calf that stands, marks a victory for the wild, a promise that its spirit endures. Our journey through this landscape is a privilege, a reminder of the responsibility to protect and honor the wild's enduring legacy. To witness the wild is to be moved to care, to remember, and to act in defense of these irreplaceable wonders. May the sun continue to rise and set over a vibrant, thriving, and truly wild Africa, its enduring spirit a beacon of hope for generations yet to come. As darkness settles over the African wilderness, a new chapter of life begins, one hidden from the glare of daylight. The savannah, now cloaked in shades of indigo and silver, becomes a realm ruled by the senses of those who have mastered the art of night. In the hush, only the soft rustle of grass betrays the movement of an aardvark, its elongated snout probing the earth for termites. Guided by a keen sense of smell and sensitive ears, it digs with powerful claws, the sound muffled beneath the gentle chorus of crickets. The aardvark's solitary quest is punctuated by quick glances, ever watchful for silent predators. Nearby, a pair of bush babies leap nimbly from branch to branch, their oversized eyes glowing in the moonlight. With astonishing agility, they navigate the dense thickets, pausing to feast on gum and insects. Their calls, a blend of clicks and chirps, echo softly, maintaining contact in the darkness. On the open plain, a serval stalks its prey, each step calculated and silent. Its large, rounded ears rotate independently, capturing the faintest rustle of a rodent beneath the cover of grass. In an instant, it pounces, relying on speed and precision honed by countless nocturnal hunts. The serval's slender form melts into the night, a phantom among the shadows. Farther afield, a porcupine emerges from its burrow, quills bristling as a silent warning. It forages for roots and fallen fruit, using its strong sense of smell to guide the way. The night's calm is broken only by the soft crunch of vegetation, the porcupine's slow, deliberate movements, a testament to its confidence in the cover of darkness. Above, a Varro's eagle owl perches in patient stillness, its feathered tufts blending seamlessly with gnarled branches. With binocular vision and acute hearing, it scans the ground for unsuspecting prey. A sudden swoop, and talons find their mark, a rodent caught in the silent ballet of predator and prey. In the dappled moonlight, a genet cat slips through the undergrowth, its spotted coat nearly invisible against the leaf litter. It navigates with feline grace, investigating every scent trail and shadow, ever opportunistic. The genet's world is one of subtlety and stealth, thriving in the spaces between the bold actions of larger predators. Even the termite mounds come alive after dusk, a colony of bat-eared foxes, ears twitching, eyes alert, hunt for beetles, grubs, and small invertebrates that emerge under the cover of night. Their social calls and playful chases reveal a world of interaction rarely seen by day. As the hours pass, the nocturnal symphony intensifies. Frogs chorus from ephemeral pools, and the distant roar of a lion punctuates the night air, a reminder that the apex predators, too, are on the move. Yet, much of the nocturnal world is quieter, defined by subtle interactions, delicate balances, and the constant negotiation for survival. In the African night, every shadow conceals a story, every rustle a life in motion. Here, the secret lives of nocturnal animals unfold in a dance of adaptation and resilience, each species perfectly attuned to the rhythm of darkness. The wild, forever enduring, reveals its most enigmatic wonders to those who listen and watch beneath the stars. Beneath the towering silhouettes of acacia trees and the thunderous footsteps of giants, an intricate world thrives at ground level, one often overlooked yet essential to the balance of the African ecosystem. Here, insects and small creatures work tirelessly as the savannah's unsung architects, shaping life in ways both subtle and profound. As dawn's first light glimmers across the grass, armies of termites emerge from their fortress-like mounds. These master builders sculpt vast underground cities, engineering networks of tunnels that aerate the soil and recycle dead plant matter. Their relentless labor breaks down tough grasses and woody debris, transforming decay into fertile earth, a silent process that nourishes the roots of the entire plain. Nearby, a line of industrious ants marches with single-minded purpose, carrying seeds, leaves, and fragments many times their own weight. Some ants cultivate underground gardens of fungus, while others act as nature's vigilant cleaners, scavenging scraps and deterring pests. Their constant activity maintains the delicate equilibrium of the savanna floor, ensuring that nothing is wasted for long. Hidden beneath stones and within leaf litter, beetles of every shape and color play their part. Dung beetles, in particular, take on a vital role, rolling and burying droppings left by much larger animals. In doing so, they control parasites, disperse seeds, and return nutrients to the soil, fostering a cycle of renewal that supports the entire web of life. In the air, clouds of butterflies and bees move from blossom to blossom, pollinating wildflowers and shrubs. Their delicate wings paint fleeting patterns against the sunlight, but their impact is lasting. Each visit ensures the next generation of plants, sustaining the herbivores and, in turn, the predators that depend on them. Amid the grasses, a chorus of crickets and katydids begins with the setting sun. Their rhythmic calls fill the twilight, signaling health and abundance in the ecosystem. Spiders weave intricate webs between blades of grass, capturing unwary insects and helping to regulate populations. Even the tiny springtail, barely visible to the naked eye, plays a critical role in decomposing organic matter, releasing nutrients that fuel new growth. The world of the small is one of constant motion and quiet collaboration. Every grain of soil turned, every petal visited, and every fragment broken down is a testament to the indispensable role these creatures play. Without them, the savanna would falter, its soils exhausted, its plants unpollinated, its cycles incomplete. In this intricate tapestry, insects and small creatures are the lifeblood of the land. Engineers, recyclers, pollinators, and caretakers. Though rarely seen, their collective efforts sustain the grandeur above, ensuring that the wild endures from the tiniest burrow to the vast, sunlit horizon. Across the endless savanna, a silent signal stirs. The dry season's grip tightens, grasses wither, and distant thunderheads promise renewal. In response, the land awakens to one of the most awe-inspiring phenomena in the natural world, the Great Migrations. This is not a single journey, but a living tide. Millions of hooves, wings, and paws responding to ancient rhythms written into the earth itself. As the first hints of rain darken the horizon, vast herds of wildebeest gather on the parched plains. Their numbers swell, joined by zebras and gazelles, each drawn by the promise of fresh grazing and life-giving water. The ground trembles beneath their collective movement, a spectacle that reshapes the landscape, carving trails into the soil and shaping the very contours of the savanna. The migration is a complex ballet, choreographed by survival. Wildebeest calves are born in synchrony, their first uncertain steps taken amid the safety of numbers. Predators, lions, hyenas, and crocodiles shadow the herds, their fates intertwined with those of their prey. For every leap across a swollen river, there are stories of peril and triumph. of lives lost and new generations begun. This great movement transforms the land. Grazed areas are trimmed and fertilized by droppings, sparking bursts of new growth once the rains return. Seeds caught in hooves and fur are scattered far and wide, spreading life across the plains. The churned earth creates microhabitats, inviting birds, insects, and smaller mammals to exploit the opportunities left in the wake of the herds. For many, migration is a test of endurance. Elephants, too, traverse vast distances, their matriarchs guiding family groups to ancient waterholes remembered across generations. Alongside them, flocks of birds trace invisible highways in the sky, navigating by the stars and the shifting winds. Each species, from the smallest quail to the mighty buffalo, is both participant and beneficiary in this seasonal odyssey. The migrations pulse through the savannah like a heartbeat. They sustain predators through lean times, rejuvenate grasslands, and spark moments of extraordinary abundance. Even the rivers are transformed, their banks reshaped by crossing hooves, their waters carrying the nutrients of distant lands. As the rains finally arrive and the herds disperse, the savannah breathes anew. The scars of passage fade, replaced by a flush of green and a symphony of life. In this ever-turning cycle, migration is not merely movement. It is renewal, resilience, and the enduring promise that life, in all its wild forms, will find a way. In the heart of the savannah, every blade of grass and shadowed thicket tells a story of survival, a drama shaped by the intricate dance between predator and prey. Here, life is bound by a fragile equilibrium, where each encounter can tip the scales between abundance and scarcity. The lioness crouches low in the golden grass, her muscles tensed in perfect silence. Nearby, a herd of impala grazes, their ears flicking at the faintest sound. For the hunter, patience is essential. For the hunted, vigilance is life itself. One misstep, a snapped twig or a moment's distraction, can mean the difference between escape and the final chase. Across the open plains, cheetahs rely on bursts of speed, their slender bodies built for acceleration rather than endurance. They target the young or the isolated, knowing that even a moment's hesitation can turn the tables. Gazelles, in turn, have evolved agility and acute senses, zigzagging in unpredictable patterns to evade their pursuers. This contest of adaptation and counter-adaptation has shaped both predator and prey, refining their instincts through countless generations. Yet the relationship is not simply one of opposition. The presence of predators keeps herbivore populations healthy, culling the weak and the sick, and preventing overgrazing that could devastate the land. Scavengers, hyenas, jackals, and vultures follow in the wake of the hunt, ensuring that nothing is wasted, returning nutrients to the earth and closing the circle of life. Each species plays its part in this web of interdependence. Zebras form tight-knit groups, their stripes creating illusions that confuse would-be attackers. Buffalo stand their ground, using strength in numbers to defend calves from prowling lions. Even the smallest creatures, mice, lizards, and insects, have their predators, weaving microcosms of pursuit and evasion beneath the feet of giants. As dusk falls and the savannah cools, a new caste emerges. Leopards slip through the shadows, silent and unseen, while owls and snakes hunt by the cover of night. The rhythm of predation never ceases, shifting seamlessly between day and darkness, between hunter and hunted. In this landscape, survival is earned through constant adaptation. The fates of predator and prey are forever intertwined, each shaping the other in a never-ending cycle of challenge and response. It is a testament to nature's extraordinary complexity, where every life is both a hunter and the hunted, and the balance of the wild endures. Across the vast expanse of the savannah, one force shapes the destinies of all who dwell here: water. Its presence or absence carves invisible pathways through the landscape, dictating the movements and behaviors of every creature, great and small. Rivers snake through the grasslands, their banks teeming with life. Seasonal rains transform dusty hollows into shimmering pools, while ancient watering holes become the beating hearts of the wild. As the dry season tightens its grip, water becomes a currency more precious than gold. Herds of wildebeest and zebra traverse immense distances, following ancestral routes to the promise of relief. Elephants, with memories stretching across generations, lead their young to hidden springs, their trunks reaching deep into the mud for the last traces of moisture. Crocodiles lie motionless beneath the surface, patient sentinels awaiting the inevitable congregation of thirsty wanderers. Around these oases, the drama of survival intensifies. Predators linger in the shadows, attuned to the rhythms of arrival and departure. Antelope approach with caution, their senses heightened, aware that a single miscalculation could turn a moment of respite into a desperate flight. Birds gather in dazzling flocks, their wings flashing in the sunlight as they swoop to drink and bathe, adding colour and sound to the life-giving pulse of water. But water's influence reaches beyond the obvious. Fresh growth flourishes along riverbanks, attracting insects and the myriad creatures that depend on them. Frogs emerge with the rains, their calls echoing into the night, signalling abundance for those that can seize it. Even the trees, towering acacias and resilient baobabs, anchor their roots deep, tapping into hidden reserves to withstand the long droughts. The ebb and flow of water shapes not only migrations, but the very fabric of the ecosystem. When rivers run dry, competition intensifies, and only the most adaptable survive. When rains return, the savannah bursts into life, grasses rising, flowers blooming, and the cycle beginning anew. In this world, water is more than a resource. It is the silent architect of existence, weaving together the fates of predator and prey, plant and animal. Its patterns create the stage on which the great spectacle of life unfolds, reminding us that in the savannah, every drop is a promise and every oasis a sanctuary. Across the savannah, every life form is a testament to the art of adaptation, nature's relentless pursuit of survival in a land of extremes. Here, each species, from the tallest tree to the smallest insect, carries with it a story written in the language of resilience. The acacia tree, crowned with delicate leaves and formidable thorns, stands as both provider and protector. Its feathery canopy offers precious shade, while its sharp defences deter all but the most determined grazers. Yet even these barriers are not absolute. Giraffes, with tongues that can reach 1/2 metre and tough, leathery mouths, browse between the spines, extracting nourishment where few others dare. In the tall grasses, the serval cat's elongated legs and oversized ears are perfectly tuned for its world. Standing above the swaying blades, it listens for the faintest rustle of a rodent or bird. Its pounce is a marvel of precision, an explosive leap that can clear 3 meters, pinning prey with surgical accuracy. Beneath the surface, the dung beetle carves out its own niche. Rolling spheres of dung across the sun-baked earth, it transforms waste into sustenance and shelter. Some species navigate using the stars, an astonishing feat that ensures their precious cargo finds safety underground, nourishing both themselves and the soil. The African spiny mouse, though small and unassuming, harbors a secret of regeneration. When threatened, its skin can tear easily, allowing escape from predators. Remarkably, this tiny mammal can regrow lost tissue, hair, skin, even cartilage, an ability rarely seen among mammals. Many plants, too, have evolved ingenious strategies. The sausage tree's pendulous fruit, heavy and nutrient-rich, dangles from thick branches, enticing bats and large mammals. When the fruit falls and splits, it becomes a feast for creatures below and a vehicle for seeds to journey across the plains. Even in times of drought, life persists. The desert date tree sends roots deep into the earth, tapping hidden water reserves. Its small, waxy leaves minimize evaporation, while its fruit sustains birds, insects, and mammals alike. Camouflage is both shield and sword. The tawny coat of a lion blends seamlessly with the amber grasses, while the intricate patterns of a leopard melt into dappled shade. Young antelope, motionless and speckled, vanish against the ground, their only defense against the ever-watchful eyes of hunters. Each adaptation is a masterpiece, honed by millennia of trial and error. Some are visible, a zebra's stripes, a pangolin's armor. Others are hidden, like the heat-tolerant enzymes within a termite's gut or the nocturnal vision of a bush baby. Together, they weave a tapestry of survival, where every trait is a response to challenge and every innovation a key to endurance. In the savannah, to adapt is to exist. Here, evolution is the silent sculptor, shaping life in myriad forms, each uniquely equipped to thrive in a world of perpetual change. As the sun climbs higher and the rains retreat, the savannah is transformed. The once lush grasslands fade to gold and brittle brown, and the rivers shrink into narrow ribbons of muddy water. This is the dry season, a time when survival is measured in drops and shadows, and every heartbeat echoes the struggle for life. For the great herds, the search for water becomes a daily odyssey. Elephants, wise matriarchs leading their families, press on for miles, their trunks probing the parched earth for even the faintest scent of moisture. At the last remaining waterholes, ancient rivalries flare. Zebra and wildebeest jostle for space with buffalo and impala, each drawn by the promise of relief, yet wary of the predators that linger in the dust. Crocodiles, masters of patience, lie motionless in the shrinking pools, conserving energy for the rare chance at a meal. Fish burrow into the mud, encased in a cocoon of slime, waiting out the long, thirsty months. Birds gather in noisy flocks, their wings flashing as they compete for shallow puddles. Some, like the marabou stork, turning to scavenging when hunting grows lean. For the predators, the dry season brings both opportunity and peril. With cover sparse, lions and cheetahs must rely on cunning and endurance, stalking weakened prey across open ground. The strong survive, while the vulnerable fall behind, their bones bleaching beneath the merciless sun. Plants, too, are tested. Grasses curl into dormancy, seeds sealed within tough husks, biding their time until the first drops of rain. The baobab tree, swollen with stored water, becomes an oasis for those who can breach its fibrous bark, baboons, elephants, and birds alike seeking sustenance from its reservoir. Even the smallest creatures must adapt. Termites retreat deep within their mounds, where the air remains cool and moist. Ants move underground, rationing food stores. The resilient African bullfrog burrows into the earth encased in a cocoon of mucus, waiting for the rains to return. Throughout the savannah, every life form is tested by the relentless heat and scarcity. Those who endure do so through ingenuity, resilience, and an intricate web of interdependence. The dry season strips life to its essentials, revealing the true strength of the wild, a strength forged not in ease, but in the crucible of adversity. When the first clouds gather on the horizon, and the scent of rain drifts on the wind, a silent hope stirs. Until then, the savannah endures, each creature holding fast, waiting for the promise of renewal that lies just beyond the dust. Across the vast tapestry of the African wilderness, every life, no matter how grand or minute, is woven into a single, intricate web. Here, survival is never a solitary endeavor. Each creature, plant, and even the soil beneath plays a role in a delicate balance that sustains the entire ecosystem. Consider the acacia tree, its branches crowned with delicate leaves. Giraffes feed on its tender shoots, pruning the canopy and allowing sunlight to reach grasses below. In turn, ants take shelter in the tree's hollow thorns, fiercely defending their home from leaf-eating invaders. The tree provides nectar to its defenders, and in return, the ants protect it from harm, a silent pact written in nature's code. Beneath the surface, termites engineer vast mounds that rise like monuments from the savannah. Their tunnels aerate the soil, allowing rain to soak deep into the earth. This hidden work nourishes grasses which feed the herds of wildebeest and impala. When the grazers move on, their droppings fertilize the ground, cycling nutrients and fueling new growth. Predators, too, are part of this intricate choreography. When lions hunt, they cull the weak or sick, ensuring the health of the herd and preventing disease from spreading. Scavengers, hyenas, vultures, and beetles descend upon the remains, leaving no morsel to waste. Even bones serve a purpose, offering minerals to gnawing porcupines and calcium to nesting birds. The rivers, pulsing through the heart of the savannah, connect distant life. Hippos graze far from water at night, fertilizing the land. Their trails become channels for rain, shaping the flow of water when storms return. Fish feed on insect larvae, while crocodiles regulate fish populations, maintaining balance beneath the surface. Birds carry seeds far from their source, planting new life with every flight. Elephants clear paths through dense brush, opening corridors for smaller animals and dispersing seeds in their wake. Insects pollinate flowers, ensuring the next generation of plants, and in turn those plants provide food, shelter and shade for countless others. Even death feeds new beginnings. Fallen trees become nurseries for fungi and insects, which break down wood into rich soil. This fertile ground supports fresh growth, continuing the cycle anew. In the African wilderness, the fate of each creature, predator and prey, plant and animal, feathered, scaled, or furred, is bound to the others. Remove one thread, and the entire web trembles. It is this profound interconnectedness that gives the savannah its resilience, its beauty, and its enduring mystery. In every moment, a silent conversation unfolds, a testament to the unity of life and the timeless dance that sustains it all.